Hello and welcome to another episode of Grange TV. This is not a full episode. These are just the pre-fight thoughts that we have for Ortega and Korean Zombie. I have with us Mr. Eli Hedges, David Roberts, doing his thing there. It's not actually David Roberts. It's the mystery person. Look, this is not a fight prediction. This is not a breakdown. This is just our pre-fight thoughts. We're just having a chat about what we think of the upcoming fight, and that's it. That's all it is. It's not. But please like, subscribe, and let us know your thoughts on the comments, and we'll do our best to get back to each and every single one of you. There should be at least 3 or 4 comments. So, so please give your thoughts. This is just our thoughts. We want to know your thoughts.
They might not even care about my thoughts, but I'm going to give them anyway. So.
Please, Eli, you start. What do you think?
Are we going to talk about tomorrow's fight? This weekend's fight, sorry.
First? We're only going to talk about Ortega and Zombie now.
All right.
We'll do the others on a separate one.
Okay, so let's go Ortega to start with. 2 years off with injury? Over 2 years now. March in 2000.
I'm not sure the time frame.
But still, that's a long time out of the ring or out of the cage. I feel like what he would need to do to win that fight is keep it at a distance where Zombie can't counterpunch him and hit him with them clean strikes. I feel like Zombie's boxing is a lot better. And I feel like he'll need to try to get in that mid-range. If Ortega wants to win that fight, I feel like he needs to keep him at a distance and just try to pepper him off. If he starts to get into the exchanges, I feel like Zombie's a little bit his punches are too crisp and too accurate, and he'll be able to beat him that way. He also starts very fast, where we spoke on it before. Ortega's a little bit more of a slower start. So I think Zombie will be able to get his distance off a little bit earlier, maybe that mid-range off a little bit earlier, and then control the rest of the fight. What about your thoughts?
I think I tend to agree with everything there. I think one of the things that people don't realize is Zombie has had 21 professional kickboxing fights and 21 or thereabouts MMA fights, allowing for no contests, etc. But let's say 21 and 21, which is 42 professional fights and all. Then you look at Ortega, who's had 16 or thereabouts, allowing for no contests and whatnot. It's a big difference in experience. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. That doesn't mean that that's always gonna win.
Yeah.
But when you add that onto the inactivity of the last couple of years and the fact that it came off injury, I think that's a little bit much. At first, I thought Ortega was going to be able to do it. I just saw him having a little bit better movement. I thought, if he stays out, he likes to switch stances. He likes to move out, and he can also take the fight down if he needs to, or he can attempt to take the fight to the ground. I don't know that he can and or will be able to do that with Zombie, but he has that up his sleeve. I don't see Zombie trying to out-wrestle him. I don't see that. I thought maybe Ortega would be able to. One of the things that I think he'd need to do is maybe step outside, like you're saying, stay out of the range, and try and hit with those calf kicks, because Zombie steps heavy when he's walking you down. He needs to walk you down. That's how he fights.
Yeah.
He's gotten better. He doesn't just take shots and hit back like he used to. He kind of slips more. He's starting to slip more. And he throws that right hand. It's kind of like overhand right hand, kind of like a casting punch. And he's knocked out a lot of people. He's dropped really good strikers as well. Hominick, when he knocked out Hominick right away, he's got power and he starts fast. And I don't know if Ortega is going to be able to deal with all of those things right off the bat. The calf kicks, I think, are a weapon that Ortega could use. I don't know how great his kicking is going to be in comparison to someone like Zombie, who's had a lot of kickboxing experience.
Yeah, no, I agree with I think a lot of people out there also think that if Ortega takes it to the ground, then he can really dominate that as well. But Zombie can grapple. Do you know what I mean? I think because he's had the name of a Zombie and just going forward and really putting the pressure on people that people have forgotten, he can grapple as well. He's got some really slick submissions in the UFC.
He's got a DAS win over Dustin Poirier, he's not an easy out for anyone.
Yeah, and he backed him up, didn't he, then? And then Dustin went for that takedown, a little bit lazy, and he just went straight in for the kill. He didn't try to get position. He went for that that submission and really put it on quick. Put him to sleep, didn't he?
Yes.
So yeah, he can. He also has the twister. He got a twister in one of his UFC fights. So
Well, he's a judo black belt and a jiu-jitsu black belt.
yeah,
You get what I mean? And he's also a black belt in Taekwondo and a black belt in Hapkido and a 21 professional kickboxing fights. So he's a very accomplished fighter.
Yeah.
He's a very, very, very accomplished fighter. And at first, man, I like them both, to be honest with you. At first, I thought Ortega, just his jiu-jitsu is so slick, you know?
yeah. I still think he's a superstar, Brian Ortega, but I just think that time off, injury, them little things, and I think Zombie is the matchup. Do you know what I mean? That's a bad matchup for him coming straight back off.
Another thing I found interesting, I think Zombie's a little bit older. Zombie has had his, he had to take some time off for military service a few years back. Yeah, but he's a little bit older. He's had losses, he's had wins, and it's something like we were talking about off air with just certain things. Like fighters, athletes in general, I think people in general, you get to a certain age in your life, like 29, 30 years old, where, you know, you start to get tired of certain things, or you start to really understand what you want out of life and what you want out of your career. And just listening to an interview just before, I think it was on ESPN, was Brian Ortega, and he was just talking about a lot of the changes that have gone on in his life recently, and things that he wants to do with, you know, with the fight game and where he wants to go. And a lot of the things that he was talking about was now with things that have gone on, learning who his friends are, who he's, you know, all of that stuff. And I think that that's really, really, really important for a fighter. And I don't know if Ortega's going through that stuff right now, and Zombie probably has already gone through a version of that.
Yep.
And a lot of the times when I've seen athletes and that, it makes a big difference, you know?
Yeah, yep.
If he's going through it right now, you know, and a lot of times it happens, he fought for a world title, he lost. They could be in very different stages.
He just went straight up, didn't he? He was the
Yeah.
hottest thing on the UFC card, and that Brian
Never
Ortega.
lost.
And you could even see in a lot of his interviews and the people, he had a lot of people around him and entourage going to a lot of parties and stuff like that. If you have 2 years off then with injury, I promise you them people scatter.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's probably going through that, and but it'll be interesting to see how he bounces back, because I still think he's a superstar. I still think he has that appeal and everything like that. I just think, I don't know. I think Zombie can control that fight by getting out nice and quick. Maybe get them first 2 rounds in his pocket, establish that distance, and then control the fight.
I have to agree. I think I don't know that Ortega's going to be able to keep the distance with Zombie like that. I don't know that Zombie's not going to deal with the leg kicks. I think even if the leg kicks come, he'll be able to deal with them. The scrambles, though, any type of scramble like that, I think, especially early in the fight when they're relatively dry, Ortega's very dangerous. And those scrambles with the submissions, like he's not mucking around either. He's really going for the submissions. The other thing is, even when you're slippery, though, I feel that there's submissions like the guillotine that you're able to still get your arms in. It kind of helps to be slippery as well. So I think Ortega there, he's very dangerous. Anytime they kind of get like tangled up, I think it'll be very, very dangerous for Zombie. I definitely would tend to favor Ortega in any of those kind of where they get tangled up.
Yeah.
But man, Edgar couldn't take him down. Couldn't take Zombie down.
Yeah.
And he tried.
He's a great wrestler.
Very, very good
and
wrestler.
mixes up very well with his strikes. So
Yeah.
I don't know if Ortega's on that level of mixing up his strikes with his takedowns.
Here's another question for you then. Regardless of which one of these guys wins, do you think either one of these guys can beat Volkanovski?
I feel that the Korean Zombie would be a bit more of a handful for Alex than what Ortega would be. I don't know. I feel like Ortega, it's tough, isn't it? Now I'm not too sure. I think either one,
I don't think either one of them beats Alex, though. Not right now.
no, I don't think they beat him, but I feel like with Korean Zombie fighting at that mid-range and stuff like that, I feel like, do you know what I mean, he'd be able to control the fight a little bit more of Alex, maybe put him on the back foot, but I don't know, Alex has grown so much as well. He's improved so much as a fighter as well, just even over the last 2 fights with
I think his confidence has really exploded. you know. And I think Alex got his physicality at that featherweight division is something special, and he's got such a good chin. I don't know. I don't know. You know, I can't. But having said that, I also have to look at this break with Ortega and not to be too pessimistic.
Yeah.
So he might have come out of this break. He might have made those changes. He might have made that growth, and then come out and be able to really put on an exciting performance. You know, he's going to put on an exciting performance. Period. I just don't know if he's going to beat Zombie. You know, maybe he does.
Yep.
Maybe the growth has happened. Maybe, you know,
because that is the next matchup, isn't the winner out of these two? I think.
I suppose so, yeah.
Alex, and I think, yeah, but I would have to agree with you. I don't think Alex is going to lose it for a while. I think his confidence has grown. I think he's improved as a fighter. He's very physically strong in that, and his striking is good. Wrestling defense,
wrestling offense too.
Yeah, I think just overall at the moment he's at the top of his game.
Wonderful. All right, guys, let us know who you think will win. Let us know how you think they'll win. Like and subscribe, and put your comments there. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.